Greetings, and welcome to our series of weekly devotionals. We're offering some thoughts for reflection this week based on some verses in chapter 2 of the letter of James. A few weeks ago, I did a children's message on a Sunday morning about the question of right or wrong. And I spoke with the kids about how they learn growing up to tell the difference between right and wrong. But as we get older, it sometimes gets murky and ambiguous. Sometimes it's not so easy to decide between right or wrong. And in our society nowadays, the polarizing political climate that we live in makes things very difficult to speak about certain hot button issues, to preach the gospel as we see fit. When it comes to things like the pandemic, COVID, all the public health protocols, you have lots of different opinions about what's right and what's wrong. Black Lives Matter and social justice issues, folks have lots of different opinions about gun control. I have some definite opinions about that, but some people would say I'm wrong. And even something as seemingly important to our Christian faith as helping the poor, helping people who are less fortunate than ourselves, can engender a lot of different opinions and perspectives in a Christian community. And, in our polarized and polarizing political climate in which we live, oftentimes the only way that you're right is if you agree with me. And it becomes difficult sometimes to extract the gospel message from nationalism and from sort of the political climate and the notion of individual constitutional rights and freedoms and all that kind of stuff. It's very easy to confuse the laws of our society, the laws of our country, with God's law. And the writer of the letter of James writes something very clear about this for Christians in verses 12 and 13. So speak and so act as those who are to be judged by the law of liberty, God's law. For judgment will be without mercy to anyone who has shown no mercy. Mercy triumphs over justice. I think the writer of the letter of James would agree with me when I say that there are certain things in the gospel message, things like liberation for all people, justice for all people, mercy for all people, and most especially all those things for the most vulnerable and weakest and marginalized people in society. I think the writer of the letter of James would agree with me in my assessment that those kinds of things, regardless of political affiliation, are always right. Amen.